All right, welcome. Thank you everyone for being here. My name is Rita Jean. It's so good to see you. And we're going to do something a little different and a little bit fun this evening. But before we dive in, I wanted to ask, I know we have some artists on this call, but just drop a three if you consider yourself an artist. And for me, I actually think that we're all artists because all day long we're creating, whether I think life is art. So it's whether it's your conversation, your clothes, your food, anything, all of it is art to me. So, yeah, I see those threes. I know you're an artist, Karen. So let's start simple tonight. Also, drop in the chat if you've been craving any specific colors lately. So foods that you're drawn to, colors that you're drawn to, or it could even just be, colors that you see out in the world that you're drawn to. Purple. I've been drawn to purple and orange recently. And there's a reason, red. Yeah, oh, fun. So there's a reason that I asked that tonight. And it's because our bodies don't speak in English, they actually speak in sensation, in cravings, and color. And so before we dive deep into color, we want to understand why plants create these compounds that create color in the first place. So plants can't pick up and move, they can't walk to the shade. They can't run from stress. They can't escape the heat or the cold or toxins. So, what do? Is they adapt. And if there's too much sun, then that creates protective pigments to protect the fruits and the vegetables and the plants. If it's too cold, they build stronger antioxidant support. If there's microbes, like think of the jungle, think of so many different places, they develop antimicrobial compounds. Hello, welcome, Allison. Good to see you, honey. And then if there's harsh environments, plants are going to concentrate minerals. So plants are adaptive, they're intelligent, they're responding to their environment. And they start to build a resilience chemistry to survive. So those extremes and those heats and those colds actually give the plants more adaptive properties. And when we eat them, we actually build that resilience, we borrow that resilience. And these compounds are often called polyphenols, flavonoids, chlorophyll, carotenoids, and they don't just feed us, they actually signal our body. So they're going to help our body adapt to stress by reducing that oxidative stress, supporting a healthy inflammatory response, supporting that cellular communication, which is amazing and important. Trillions of cells communicating to each other. And then they also are going to support that energy production at that cellular level, that cellular ATP. So when you eat colorful plants, you're not just eating nutrients, you're training your body how to adapt to stress and how to be more adaptable. So when we look at color, we're not just seeing something pretty, we're actually seeing how that plant learned how to survive, which is really neat, right? So when you see red, think of circulation and energy, such as beets and pomegranates and cranberry and raspberry. And those are rich in different compounds that actually support your blood flow and your oxygen delivery. And then you can think of with Purium, the can't beat this. We have the beets and we have all of those red berries that I talked about in the dark berry protein as well. So, red foods, they actually help your body to move, to circulate, to create energy, create that vitality and that life force. And now, when you think of orange foods, think of protection. Oh, hi, welcome. Good to see you. So, orange foods are rich in beta carotenes, and this converts to vitamin A in the body. So, vitamin A supports your skin, your immune system, your gut lining. And that gut lining is so thin, it's like as thin as a hair. So it's really important that we are supporting that because that also regenerates. So in your power shake, you have your carrots and that carrot juice powder. And then yellow, think of digestion and processing. So, yellow foods, you can think of turmeric. They contain curcuminoids, which really support our liver detox pathway, digestion, that healthy inflammatory response. So, cocoa hydrate is full of turmeric and it's that bright yellow color. And then when you think of green, think of minerals and nervous system support. So, greens are one of the most important categories. And we have our spirulina, our wheatgrass, our alfalfa grass juice, our oatgrass juice, and our superfoods. And those are rich in chlorophyll, which also help to oxygenate the body, but they also have minerals like magnesium, which relaxes the body. So it supports those detox pathways and it calms the nervous system. So next time you need some calming, reach for something green. And also being, we know this, but being outside in nature, being surrounded by green, that also calms us, right? So with the power shake and the other green drinks, you're getting that full spectrum of those greens and colors. And it's basically like drinking sunlight, right? Because you're converting that into your body. And when you think of purple and blue, think brain and tissue repair. So we have our dark berries, especially in our dark berry protein, like the blueberries and the blackberries and the acai and the mackay berry and the tart cherry. And these contain compounds called anthocyanins. I think I'm saying that right. And those can actually cross the blood-brain barrier, which is really unique, supporting memory and brain health and also just cellular repair. And so, yeah, all of these pigments in your dark berry literally protect the brain. And then we have earth or black, which is, we don't really think of it as a color, but we have those compounds like the chaga, which is a mushroom, and the shilajit, which is really important. That's in your pineal clear, and the sea moss and the haritaki. So all of those are rich in trace minerals and fulvic compounds from the earth. So those have your adaptogenic properties, and they're going to support the microbiome, that cellular communication, and that overall resilience in the body. So those are in your pineal clear. And I love this because it's literally earth intelligence. It's that deep nourishment at the cellular level that your body actually recognizes, that your cells recognize that your body can utilize and absorb, right? So there's so many things out there that our body can't actually utilize, can't actually absorb, and that gets built up in our lymphatic system. And that's when we see inflammation, degeneration, all of these different things. So when you use, foods, whole foods, real foods, colorful foods, regeneratively grown foods, your cells, it's a direct communication with nature. Your body is nature. Your body knows what to do with it. So then in turn that actually cleans up the lymphatic system and strengthens the tissues. And when we say tissues, we're talking about our cells. We're talking about our cellular health. So we're just trillions of cells that make up our brain and our kidneys and our organs and our muscles and our joints, right? So when we support the cells, we support the whole body and the whole system. So think of color like a biological language. Red is movement, right? Really supports that circulation, that blood flow. that recovery, that movement. Orange is our protection, that vitamin A, those carrots, the immune system support. Yellow is that processing, supporting those detox pathways. Green is really restorative with those minerals, restorative on the nervous system. So kind of like I was just, Layla just woke up from a nap and she looked so fresh, so restored, right? So that's kind of what that green property is. And then purple, repair, especially in the brain. And then the earth, those dark compounds, those browns, those blacks, that she legit, all of that is that resilience, that deep, um, that adaptability, that resilience. So when you eat the full spectrum of color and your superfoods have the full spectrum, you're going to support every system in the body. And again, whether it's the nervous system, the kidneys, the adrenals, the lymphatic system, all of it, right? So I'm just curious, you guys, what color do you feel like your body might need more of right now, or that you're, really loving or enjoying? And for those of you that have been consistently on your superfoods, your ULT, your maintenance, what differences have you noticed just since adding this vibrancy into your life, these living foods? And it can be anything, and what does it feel like just to enjoy that full color, that spectrum? So feel free to come off mute if you want to and share, but would love to hear some voices.
Hey, I'll jump in.
Hi, Allison.
Great talk. Hey, thank you, Rita. That was wonderful. Good to see everyone. I love the nature that you speak to. I'm pushing a kid right now. So
Awesome.
uh, the nature as well as the science, but science and nature are the same, really. It's different ways to explain this wonderful thing that we're living. Also the biology. So I think probably my go-to color would be, I loved how you talked about green and the nervous system. And I actually think of you often because you did this wonderful presentation, a post of talking about children. Pushing my 4-year-old right now, how when we're grounding and we're using our feet as these sensors going into the earth, right? And my son, when I started paying attention, my little guy always loves to in the morning jump on top of me and he always puts his feet on my body and it's face to face, but he loves to have his feet on me because I think he's regulating with our nervous systems together, but it's this grounding. I am his grounding mat. And I just noticed a huge change in my own awareness about my own body and then the awareness around my family because we are one nervous system together. When I really started bringing this nutrition in full throttle and then consistently, like little over 2.5 years now, and I we don't miss a beat. And I just, for my own self, I feel much more present, alive in my body, like high vibration, high color foods. It's a game changer. And I love that we've made it fast. So it's doable the way modern day living kind of calls for often. And I notice a huge difference in my children. Often their palates are much more open to healthy food and quick to pick up on it and that they actually crave it. There's times they'll literally pick up, they do a chocolate shake, which has everything in it, the gut health in the morning. And they just suck it down quickly. I try and get fresh fruit in there before they just, because you can tell they're craving it. And I myself, which I'm usually at 3 shakes a day, if I sometimes will skip the third just to see what happens in the morning, I am craving it. So I love how you just dial into the cellular level of things because that's sometimes it's hard to articulate what is happening, but really we've all just come online much more that I think it's raised our frequency, which means that we are able to accomplish more. And it's not always about accomplishing more, but more so enjoy
Mm.
everything that's already happening. So I love how you spoke to all the different colors. That was wonderful to learn. Thanks.
Thanks, Allison. I always appreciate your shares. Hi. So glad you guys are playing outside. And yeah, I love that when we can think of our whole body, like think of ourselves as a nervous system, like all the things that are working together. So we are just turning back on that cellular intelligence. So thank you. And I love what Dave says. It really sums it up. He says, that the quality of food we eat is the quality of life we live, right? And it's so beautiful because here we are really talking about quality. And when you look at nature, nothing that we've found yet compares to it, right? Like we can't mimic it because there's so much happening in nature. It's so intelligent. Like just think of like for example, all of the pest control and the mosquitoes, and all of the how that gets taken care of, right? Like we can't recreate that. So same with these superfoods. It's really just about the quality and the integrity and the way that they're grown that restores the ecosystem in the environment, but also our ecosystem inside. So thanks, Allison. That's so fun. Anybody else want to pop off and share anything? This is really, life is art, right? Like it can be any component.
I will share ditto, ditto, ditto to everything that Allison said. I always love how she explains things. I'm like, gosh, why can't I explain it like that? Because that is exactly what I'm thinking. What, how you share it, Allison. So thank you so much for that. I've been, I think it's like over 100 days now. I've been consistent with this, and to tell you the truth, it's hard to remember how I was feeling before because I'm feeling so great and so different now that it's like it's just gone away. All of those bad feelings have just gone away. It has just elevated my entire being to a totally different level. And it's just really hard to explain it because now I've embodied all of it. It's just truly a part of who I am now. And like Allison, when I don't do it, I'm like, oh, craving it. So much so, and I have to out myself. Okay, so I put my power shake in the blender. Okay, and so and I put some avocado in there and plantains in there. The plantain makes it
Mm.
taste good. Anyway, so you're pouring it out and you see some residuals left in the okay. So do you know what I do? It's sad. I don't want to just put that in the sink to wash it. So I add more water in there and ice, and I blend that up, and then I pour it in some type of shaker, and I put it in the refrigerator so I can use it. I don't want this any of it, any of the deliciousness, because it is so delicious and it's so filling, and I just feel like I'm wasting. I'm like, I'm not going to waste this. I even kind of, after I'm pouring it, I lick around the sides. That's that. And even the apothecary, and I know that you all have discontinued it, but when I pour that out, I don't waste anything. I lick around the top of it. So I outed myself, but hey, it's worth it because it's so delicious. So I guess my color, I guess, would be that is really resonating with me is the orange, and that's what I need.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Yay. Yes, that is in your power shake. And then all the other fun foods you can think of to incorporate that in. I
Oh
love
yeah.
it. And drop a two if you feel the same. Like I most definitely want to get all of my superfoods too. Don't want to waste it at all because they're just so life-giving, so vibrant. Like I really have been blessed my entire life with my mom as a gardener. She has been growing organic food our whole lives, like pulling carrots out of the ground, all of it. And I can taste the difference, right? When you have that homegrown food, you can really taste the difference. And then these superfoods, it nourishes me in a way I've never been nourished before. It just nourishes me so deeply. So I feel you, Karen. That's so beautiful.
May I share one more thing?
Yes, please.
Um, so all my life, I've wanted to make a difference in terms of my holistic journey. My family is, really health conscious. They know how to eat badly, but then they know how to eat properly as well. And so I got a very good foundation. And I must say, first I want to welcome my friend Valerie, one of my best friends, Valerie. I had lunch with her the other day, and she actually noticed the change in me. And I've been telling her about you guys. I've been telling her about my exercise regime and all of that good stuff. But she actually noticed and asked me what I was doing. And that's what I want. I want to make a difference so that other people will see it and ask so that they will want to do it as well. So I'm just thankfully grateful for that. I saw someone else today and they said the same thing. They're like, "What are you doing?" So I'm like, wow, I must be doing something right because now people are noticing it. And that's making me feel really good that they're noticing it. And it's making me feel good that I can make an impact on others so that they can have a better holistic life for themselves. So
Aw,
thank you
so
for being here, Val. I love you, girl.
welcome, Val. Thanks for being here. I love that. That's so beautiful. And way to be the example just by shining, just by living. That's beautiful. I love it. That's why we're here. That's why we do this. Once you know something, you can't unknow it. And once you feel really, really good, there's no going back, right? And so it's like you just want to pass that torch forward, light that candle, help everyone feel as good as they can feel, right? At every single level. So thanks for being here. I really appreciate that. And we do have a short and sweet quiz if anybody is curious just to learn like what would be really beneficial for me right now. But again, this is a super simple system. It's meant to replace meals, make life easy, make sure you're getting absolutely everything that you need. And we're here. We're always here. This community is beautiful. We're always here to support. So, color, right? Let's add more of it into our lives. I'm going to share some of my favorite colorful recipes in our support group. And when you eat color, again, you're not just eating food, you're giving your body information, life force, what it needs to thrive, right? And kindergarten had it right, right? We just forgot. They said eat the rainbow. So let's add that in. And yeah, right. So much of the modern food today, processed food, has been hijacked with that thought of colorful foods, right? But really, we just need to get back to the the natural colors. So thank you all so much for being here. I love you all. And we will see you next week. And yeah, take care.
Thank you, Coach Rita. It was wonderful. Thank you. A lot of good information. Appreciate you.
Appreciate
Great job. Love that.
Mhm.
Love you
You
all.
too.
Love you too.
Love you. Bye, Mary
Great
Beth.
to see you,
Bye.
Karen. Thanks,
Great
Rita.
to see you too. Take care, Allison. Bye
Welcome
bye,
back.
Coach Rita. Mwah. Love you. Bye bye. Take care.